Hey guys, Zachary Stockill here from retroactivejealousy.com, bringing you another reader Q&A video. Okay, let's get into it. The question from Jack. Jack writes, my question is, while I deal with retroactive jealousy, one of my main problems is other people judging my girlfriend's past sexual history. I've Googled enough to know that some people have strong views on sexual history, and I hate the thought of her being judged by others. This makes me question whether it's something that has a right to be judged. Is this a normal part of retroactive jealousy? And will curing my retroactive jealousy likely rid me of this thought as well? Thanks for your question, Jack. I completely understand where it's coming from. I think this is an issue that becomes less and less important, less significant, the older you get and the more perspective on sex and dating and relationships you get. What I mean is, you didn't tell me how old you are, but I would imagine you're probably a young man, probably in, late teens, early 20s kind of thing. Because, I can only speak for myself. I'm in my early 30s now, and I feel like every year that I get older, just the less and less I care about what other people think. That's not to say that I don't care at all about what people think. That would be a lie. Maybe a better way to put it is every year I get older, I get more and more and more selective with regard to whose opinions I really value. In other words, I have real mentors and real role models and close friends and certain family members whose opinion I really value and whose perspective on my life I value. They're a good sounding board for me, and they're willing to point out when I'm possibly going to make a mistake or I've got a blind spot or something like that. There are certain men and women whose opinions I really, really value and trust, and then there's everyone else. Okay? So if you're getting your life perspective from, say, random YouTube commenters, no offense, random YouTube commenters, but anyone who spent time in a YouTube's comment section can know how that can mess with your head and just the amount of toxicity and anyway. Or even just, idiots at school or guys at the back of the bus or random commenters on internet forums when you look up anything related to, feminine sexuality, female sexuality. If you Google anything related to women and sexual history, and you'll just find the most amount of toxicity and really vicious slut shaming, and you'll find a lot of really negative stuff. And when I was your age, I would probably let that stuff influence me too. I'd let that, those feelings and those sentiments and those toxic opinions and those, really kind of warped perspectives, I would let that to some extent shape my own perspective. But every year I get older, the more I can tune that stuff out. And for you, I'm not exactly sure who these guys are, who you're worried about, in terms of them judging you or your girlfriend. But if you're worried about them really judging you, and if they're going to say nasty things and they're going to make fun of you or make fun of her, or they're going to do the whole posturing, I'm an alpha male and I'm better than you, and that kind of thing, then I can almost guarantee they're not worthy of your trust or your respect. And I know this is easier said than done, but my biggest piece of advice would be to really sit down and consider, do I really value these people's opinions? Do I really value their perspectives? Are these men I truly respect? Now, you need to arrive at your own answer to this question. Maybe you do respect them. Maybe, you do value their opinions. And if so, maybe take what they're saying into consideration. But more often than not, in my view, these guys are just acting from a place of insecurity, of completely false male bravado, and their opinions and their perspectives are not really worth valuing, in my view. So that's it. Thanks very much for your question. I appreciate it. If you valued this video, please be sure to click the like button below. Be sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you again very soon.